Welcome to the Sands Expo Center in steamy Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the Cigar Lockdown Unlocked Show with your hosts, Sammy Phillips, Clay Roberts, Bill Paley, and Matt Booth. With an incredible lineup of some of the world's most exciting cigar manufacturers. Now grab your cigars and cocktails and strap in for this wild ride. Without further ado, here's Sammy and Clay.
Well, Mr. Roberts.
Now it gets interesting.
Oh, it's interesting indeed.
It gets interesting now.
There are levels, Clay.
Oh, there are
And
levels.
we are at the top of the mountain.
Oh,
Completely humbled and blessed to have our good friend Ernesto Perez-Carrillo of EPC Cigars, a.k.a. the Godfather, known by everyone in this industry here at the Cigar Lockdown Booth show, the Unlocked Show. Ernie, how the hell are you, my friend?
hey, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm really humble because I love you guys.
We love you too.
We love you too,
And for me to be here with you guys, being part of this, great concept that you guys have come up with,
Thank you.
it's an honor. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ernie, it's our pleasure, my man. And growing up in the business, I've been in the business now for 26 years, which seems like a long time. And I walk the floor and I seem, sort of like an old dog, and I run into these kids that are walking around. And I remember growing up in the business very early on in the mid 90s and looking up to you and to your company and meeting you for the first time and watching you build this Ernesto Perez-Carrillo EPC cigar company and coming off the #1 cigar in the world. It's amazing what you have accomplished.
Well, when I look back and I think about this, and it's a question of the time that one puts into anything. And I've been blessed because, I have to say, most of my life, I've been able to do what I love to do. At one time I thought it was playing music. And then I got into cigars and it changed my life.
Have you ever seen any of the old pictures of Ernie rocking out?
No.
They're the best.
I want to put that in a T-shirt and wear it.
Max, you're gonna have to make sure that you get some old pictures of Ernie, and we'll put them into the interview. We'll splash them in the lower thirds.
Yeah.
It's some of my favorite stuff, man. And when we talk to people that you make cigars with, there's a few guys in the industry, Pete Johnson, and your good friend, my good friend John Huber. But you guys connect with music. Do you apply your cigar making process to music and how it's symphonically everything comes together like a beat?
Well, music is still, is a big part of my life, and I listen to music, day and night, different types of music. But I think, the thing about music, what it taught me was discipline.
Sure.
When you're starting out as a young musician, like I started when I was 16, I used to practice drums 6-7 hours a day.
Wow.
I get home from school and start beating the drums or whatever. and cigars, I find that cigars, it's basically the same thing. I mean, we're blending cigars. You have to have that discipline, and you can't get discouraged when you have something that maybe doesn't come out the way that you want. So music for me is definitely a part of making a cigar. And there's that one. There's that one riff, I guess you could say, when you're playing, and all of a sudden you say, "Man, this is really nice."
Yeah.
It's the same with cigars. I'll be sitting out on my terrace smoking my cigar, or smoking a new blend, and then all of a sudden it'll hit me and say, "You know what? I have what I'm looking for."
I love it, man.
And it's constant practice. Blending is constant practice.
Of course.
This is not one thing that you do, one day you forget about. This is every day.
So let's say it's a Saturday and you're on your patio having a nice coffee and a cigar. What are you listening to? I know you listen to a lot of things.
I listen to, I love jazz.
Yeah.
Me too.
But when I'm smoking a cigar, I'm more into the classical music.
I love
I'm more into maybe some, maybe some flamenco music.
Yeah.
Oh, babe.
Yeah. So that's why, because I got to feel that relaxation with my cigar and the coffee. Maybe I'm reading a book. So I mean, it's those moments that I look for. at the end of the day. You know?
Ernie, we've had some really cool conversations over the years. Several flights that, we just get sat next to each other
Yeah.
randomly, and we're on a flight for 5 hours to Vegas, and we're talking about the business, what's happening in the current state of the business. It's been happening for years now.
Yeah.
And we talk about marketing and the earlier stages of your life with this incredible brand that your old man created. And then you creating EPC and starting a new company with your family, and then saying to me, Sammy, I do it this way, and this is why I do it this way. And then we talk about blending cigars, and you've given me some pointers over the years, and I won't tell everybody the pointers that you give me. I can keep a little something in my pocket here, brah. But you said, hey man, I do this and this to sort of clean my palate, and then I reblend and do this, and it's really helped me on my journey as well.
I remember those conversations.
Yeah.
He talks about them all the time.
Yeah, it's unreal. It really is.
Well, the thing is, for me to know something and not share it, what's the point?
Right.
You want to share it because I want people like like yourself, which are younger than myself, my kids and anybody that I would ask, I want them to know what I know, because at the end of the day, that's what makes this business.
I love it.
It's going to keep the business going
Yes.
and growing.
And like a lot of people in the room, your kids are in the business with you.
They are. I have my daughter. My son is helping us a lot now. I have 3 young granddaughters and 1 grandson. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows, baby? Look, I remember when you guys had first joined the TAA, and I was there, and Ernie was there, and we had spent some really quality time together. We had smoked through some cigars, and it was a much younger phase of the company, and we were both sort of scratching our heads at that time and just saying, hey man, what are you doing in the market, and how can you get to the next level? And brother, you've really done it, man. You've really done it, and you're building another one, and it's incredible to watch it. And I mean, how does that feel? Like to have the finest cigar in the world, and then going through COVID, and then having things ramp up and having this success.
It's an incredible feeling because I think the most important part, the family's involved, which is
Right.
very important in this business, I think. But also that all the years that I've put into this, the nights, the days that I've sat by myself and thought, how am I going to make this happen?
Yeah.
Where am I going to be able to source some tobacco or this or that? Because there's we all know there's a lot of issues when you're running a company.
100%.
And then you get something like a number 1, and it changes your whole. You see now you see why you have to go through all that, because then you can appreciate what having a cigar like thank God we had this past year is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of sacrifice,
Sure.
but it's a sacrifice that you don't see it. You see it as part of the process that you have to go through to be successful in anything.
Yeah.
So,
It's real, man.
I mean, listen, you've given us both a lot of words of wisdom, and a common thread today. Sam and I do this for a living as well.
yes.
Right, and I think it's fun for us to sit here and be with our family members, which we've said all day.
Yes.
And we've had dinner together, the 3 of us, at
Yes.
Big Smoke a few years ago. We sat out on the patio
Right.
and had a great dinner together. And,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people watching the show, like we're all friends with one another, and there's respect. And listen, there's beefs between people, but generally in the room, we're all family, and it's really lovely.
This is the most incredible thing about this business. Okay, I can go to anybody.
Yeah.
Or anybody can come to me, and whether we need molds or whether we need tobacco or whatever we need, they're there for us. If they have it, they're there for us. Just like in my case, if I have it, it's for you. And what I've seen lately, a lot of the younger generation that are coming up, they'll come to me, Ernesto, can you help me with this or help me with that? And I'm open because those are the people that are going to keep the business going.
Of course.
on.
Yeah.
And you got to realize, a lot of people don't realize this. And one way or another, this industry has been around for over 400 years.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And we went through the period where before Cigar Aficionado, where everybody was struggling, everybody
Yes.
was going through very hard times, And then, after the magazine, things took a change.
They changed.
And now we're experiencing this year where we thought that because of the COVID, this business was going to really hurt. And I think we've been probably one of the few businesses that has really flourished in this situation. And the reason for that is because, we sell or we give pleasure to those people that enjoy a cigar. That's the most important thing,
Yes.
Give pleasure. People can enjoy a cigar with their friends. And when you're smoking a cigar, whether you're smoking with the CEO of I don't know, IBM or whatever, we're all equals. So
It's
true.
amazing, right?
It's true.
It's
Could be
amazing.
a gas station attendant, could be the CEO of IBM. We're all together. There's this.
We're all
this
together.
The connection, right, between cigar smokers is so real.
It is.
And you said something to me a few years back about when you're blending and that things needed to be different. Things needed to change. It couldn't be the same thing over and over and over again. And you've done that, man. And you continue to innovate and make things different. And look, as beautiful as this box is, right? If I took the trade dress away and I took the bands off the cigars and I blindfolded myself and I'm smoking this cigar, it's so unique, it's so different, it's delicious, and you continue to crush it, brother. I love it.
That's what I love. I don't look at this. Needless to say, we're all in business because it's not only about us. It's the people that work with us,
Yes.
work for us. We want to be sure that they also benefit from everything that we do.
Yes.
So that's really the pressure, I guess, that one puts on oneself to not let those people down. Also, your consumer, your employees,
Yes.
your family. People that depend on you to help them make a better living.
Yeah.
And this is what it's all about with our brands,
100%, Ernie.
So-
100%. Look, man, we had 32 different manufacturers step up for the Unlocked show to be here to support the PCA and more importantly to support brick and mortar, because as you know,
Yes.
when everything locked down and it closed down, it was a scary time. It was a nerve-wracking time. But just like a storm, at the end of the storm, there's a beautiful rainbow. And I think that we've seen this massive correction. And now there's supply chain issues. And, I know that you take this very, very serious. You don't overproduce cigars. You're not going to produce just because you got the #1 cigar. Quality control is paramount for you.
Yes.
To put the best possible cigar over and over and over in somebody's hand. You focus on quality and consistency. And that's why you're making the best cigars in the world, bro.
There's no secret, brother. You do it right, and you respect your customers. You respect what you're doing. You respect your profession, and you respect the industry.
Yes.
And you're going to be successful.
Absolutely.
Well, you've certainly been successful, and listen, I always say, Sammy, you have a beautiful energy. You're always
you.
very gracious and kind to us, and many others in the room, and it's always a pleasure to see you.
Well, let me tell you something. You
Yeah.
two guys, and I'm not saying this because, you two guys have so much class.
Thank you.
And I can tell stories, which, I'm not even going to get to, but I mean, stories that, you look back, and I'll tell you a quick
Please.
story,
Please.
Remember when you broke my glasses in Texas?
Absolutely.
Okay, what happened after that? 2 weeks
Well,
later,
I hugged you,
Yeah.
and I broke his glasses.
2 weeks later, I got a box. And when I opened the box, you had the glasses there.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people do that? And Sammy, what can I tell you about you, man? You think I've taught you things. You taught me so many things about marketing, about the energy, which is so important in this business. The positively. Be positive, have faith, because we're in a great industry.
Ernie, you said it best, man. You wake up every day, you love what you do. I love what I do. I'm completely infected by this tobacco business. I love
He's
it.
infected by many things.
Yeah,
but
right,
tobacco
right.
is one of them.
My wife says it all the time. She's like, "You're crazy, but I know you love what you do, and so just go and do it and be happy."
That's it.
And I love it, man. It brings me so much happiness, and to have you here in this format with us, brother, it is so humbling, and to be able to share these stories that are so personal to all of us, watching the industry grow and thrive, and watch your success.
Thank you.
It blows my fucking mind.
I appreciate that.
I had to drop in just one fuck, but now
Oh
that's
yeah,
good.
so you're good. So now we do something a little fun here on the show.
Yeah.
So reach in the jar there and pick out a question.
Okay.
any of them. And read it out, my friend. Oh, baby, what's you got?
Oh, this was the wrong question for me.
Oh, no.
¿Por qué?
Favorite beverage.
Pick another
Let me pick
card.
another one. I
Yeah,
don't like
pick
that.
another one.
I don't like this one because I don't
Pick
drink.
another
So it'd be unfair to me to say, my favorite beverage is
Well,
coffee.
Café.
that's a
But
it
it's
is
not
a
really.
beverage.
No, it's not really. Okay. Your dream vacation destination.
Oh,
Okay.
anything, anywhere on this planet.
My dream vacation for many years, is Spain.
Oh.
Okay?
Let's just hold 1 sec. His mic came off. Just
Oh, darn it. Sorry.
No,
about
you're
that.
good. You're
you're
good.
good. You're good. It's all good.
It
It all gets edited anyway.
There you are.
Okay, I'll count it down.
Huh?
And 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
So your favorite dream destination anywhere in the world, Ernie?
I have to say it's Spain.
Beautiful country.
I love.
Madrid, Barcelona.
Well, I love Madrid, Barcelona, but I like the smaller towns. You know,
Yeah.
Cáceres. There's a place in Spain where my wife's grandmother was born, Ferrol, Asturias.
Okay.
And just to see, I'm at home there.
Yes.
I love it. The big cities, Paris, Barcelona, Madrid, that's beautiful. But where I feel at home is in those little
Villages.
villages.
I love
and
it.
I think part of the reason for that, in Cuba, unfortunately I left when I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to know my grandfather, but he had a small tobacco farm in a little town called Montesuelo.
Okay.
And for some reason, that brings back some of those memories,
Yeah, of course.
It's
It's a connection.
Feeds your soul.
It's a connection,
Wow.
So, again, I think that's the. I try to go back every time I can.
I love it, Ernie. Amazing.
Listen, Ernie, these are quick interviews. On the big show in November, we'll have you on. We'll get a little bit more
Beautiful.
information and a bit more of your history.
Anytime I'm open for you guys. Whenever you see the time or you think it's the right time, I love
With you,
to have
it's
it.
always the right time, my friend. With him, not so much.
Yeah, you.
So thank you, Ernie.
Ernie,
Thank you,
for
guys.
being
Thank
with
you
us.
very
We
much.
love you, man.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much. We
much.
love
Appreciate
Wish
it,
you
huh?
some luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Papa. Love you, bro. Thank you.
Beautiful, man.
Carrillo Cigars, folks. Get them where you can.